CountryLine would like to welcome. I always say we don't have favorites. However, Drew Baldridge, how's it
Hey,
going?
glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for jumping on in the middle of your crazy talk. You just said that you were on your bus right now. Where exactly in the world are you?
I'm in a town called Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and this is the first show of a 13-day run. So we're going to be out for 13 days, traveling all U.S. playing shows all over the country. It's going to be a fun couple weeks.
That's awesome. What is it like being on the road on a long stretch like that when you're like, okay, 13 days, like, that's a lot. That's a lot of shows.
We just came back from 13-day run 2 days ago. So it was a 26-day run in 28 days that we were home for like a day and a half. So it's been a lot, but this week I brought my wife and my little boy out, so they're actually in the front of the bus right now, and so it's going to be fun having them out for 4 or 5 days, birthdays in a couple days, and so this makes the trip definitely more interesting having them out here. You're playing and you're also being a dad and a husband, and it's really fun that now we have a bus. 2 months ago this wasn't the case for us, so being able to be in a bus and have the family out and travel a little more comfortably is a big deal.
That's pretty awesome. You have had such phenomenal success in because you've been doing this for a long time. We've talked about this before when we've met up that you've been doing it a long time, and then all of a sudden it seems like everything just ramped up so much over the past sort of year and a half, 2 years kind of thing. I mean, can you possibly just get your head around that, or are you just like, hey, let's just roll with it and see what happens?
Maybe. Yeah. I've just been, I've been in Nashville for 14 years doing this and chasing this dream and having, she's somebody's daughter going number one at radio and y'all in the UK playing it and going number one over there. And that just really changed the game for us. And then Tough People coming out and being a top 10 in the States and also a number one in the UK. And if you would have told me 2 years ago when I had this idea to start my own record label and send a song to radio by myself, that in 2 years' time I'd be out on tour with Cody Johnson and Bailey Zimmerman and in a bus and touring the country in a different way and coming to the UK and playing and going to Australia and playing, I would have told you there ain't no way. That's crazy. That's a lie. Like I'm playing people's backyards, like I just didn't think that was in the cards for me anymore. And so, um, man, it's a very big blessing to be here. And I think now too, being in Nashville for so long, I don't take any of this for granted anymore. Like it's every moment that I get to do. We got to play Red Rocks, which is a very prominent place here in the States last week. And then we got to go to the Gorge, which is in Washington, and play there. And I just soaked it all up so differently than what I would have done when I was first started out. I would have been like, oh, this is happening all the time. This is great. But no, it's like this is a cherished moment. And so I'm taking every show in just like, man, this is a blessing to be here.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have a bit of an edge because you've been in the industry for as long as you have, and this like huge success is coming now? You had success before, but like this kind of level of like playing Red Rocks and things like that. Do you feel like it's almost better that you've had this sort of history before as opposed to coming into it fresh and then having all of this piled on you in the first year?
Oh yeah, like I've played in front of everybody. I've done this for a long time. I've been playing shows for, it's crazy now. I've almost been playing live for 20 years, and when you think about it, starting to play it at the young age of doing talent shows and being in front of people for so long. And, it's wild to think we've been doing it this long, but when I'm out there, I'm just comfortable now. I have a comfortability that if I would have done this at 24 or 25, like Bailey's having to do, it would have been a lot to take on. And so right now, I feel like I do have an advantage. I feel like I know the business very well. I've had to learn, how to run a record label. So I know radio. I know everybody and the ins and outs of streaming. I know the ins and outs of making a record. I know the ins and outs of this whole big business. And so I do think it's an advantage for me. It just it took some patience to figure it all out and how to get here. But yeah, I would say it's definitely something that I'm proud of. I'm proud of this. I'm proud of what we built and how we built it. And now I can talk to other artists when they come to me with questions and kind of be speaking to them and have give them some small mentoring in a way. And so, yeah, I do think it is an advantage to go through all the aspects of a career and now to be where we're at.
I think it's awesome. Well, She's Somebody Daughters went to number one in the UK, and then you had your second UK number one as well with Tough People. Did you think that you were going to be able to do it twice? I mean, we all did. I'm going to say it. We were all like, "Yep, obviously, Tough People came out."
Was I think as always, us as artists, we're always like, how do we follow it up? I think that's always something in our head that we're always going to rack our brains around of how do we follow up the last thing that we did, and that's been very always constantly in my head of like, how do I follow this up? How do I do that? And so, yeah, I didn't know if we could go number one. I just knew I loved the song. I knew I loved the message of Tough People, and with the music that we're making now, I feel the same way. Like, I don't know if they're going to be number ones. I feel like they are in my heart. I feel like I love them enough for people to really relate to these songs and these messages that we're putting out, or I wouldn't put them out. And so I'm just trying to make music that makes people feel something, and I'm trying to take out the, the need or the want to say, hey, this has to be a number one. I just want to make music that hits people in the heart, and music that people need in their lives. And if that goes number one, great. And if it just brings in a whole new listenership to our music, that's great too. I just want to put music out that people need in their lives, they can make memories to. And I hope that is our kind of our legacy in music, is one day people look back, it's like, man, that guy put out a lot of music that made me feel something.
I love that. Well, it's definitely resonating with the audience, especially in the UK. You were over in March for C2C. I want to talk about the Opry just for a little bit. So the Opry did a screening of, everybody knows it's their 100th birthday this year, and they did a screening of Opry at 100. And you got to sort of host the screening. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with that and what it was?
Yeah, so the Opry just reached out, and I was like, of course, like, I'm anything for the Opry, I'll jump, if they say jump. And so they reached out and asked me to host this, and I was like, of course, like, I would love nothing more than to host the Opry, and especially in the UK. And so that was a lot of fun. We got to kind of do it, I got to see it live too. I went there for the viewing of it all and talked to everybody before we showed the film. And just to be involved with anything of the Opry makes me feel like I'm a part of the country music family. And the Opry has holds such a spot in my heart of like, wow, this is pretty amazing. This is to be involved in this, and to introduce my friends and to talk to them about them and their music and what they're doing. It makes me feel like, wow, we are a part of this, a part of country music family. And I absolutely loved it. And I love that the Opry is coming over to the UK so people can experience what it's like. And I know there's nothing like being in Nashville and experiencing it. It's very different, but I'm glad that they're coming over there and doing this. It's going to be an amazing night.
It's going to be a really good night. We are all very much looking forward to it in September for sure. But we are also looking forward to the fact that you are coming back.
Yes, I am. And my first ever headline,
It's a
which
European tour, right?
European tour. Yeah, we're going to the Germany, and then we're coming up and playing a handful of shows in the UK. And it's my first ever headline of a European tour. And so there's a lot of nerves. There's a lot of excitement. You just hope people come out and sing along and enjoy it. And you hope you sell tickets. And, when I started playing music, I was just writing songs for a girl down the street. I didn't think it would go to the other side of the world. And so it's really special to think your music's touching people all around the world and not just in my little neck of the woods where I grew up. And so I'm excited to get over there. This is really, when I went over to country, it blew my mind just how involved the UK is, and Europe in general, with just country music, and how worldwide it is, and how you guys received me. Like, I felt like we were all the same, and all from this. It was just so unifying in a great way for me that I didn't think I was going to be accepted because I was different and I was from a different country. And you guys just accepted me, and it makes me want to come back all the time. And I just want to come back and play more music and do more tours. And we're doing this headline tour to hopefully build up to something bigger to come back. And I really loved it over there. I fell in love with all of Europe, and I can't wait to come back and play for you guys in December. It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be great. It's definitely the UK fans, the European fans in general are very loyal. I will put it that way. So if you make the effort to come over, we will be there absolutely in buckets because we know how difficult it is for artists to travel that far. So we are appreciative of it as well. So thank you for doing that.
Glad to be doing it. I can't wait. We're going to be having a lot of fun.
It's going to be great. You've got a new single out at the moment with Emily Ann Roberts. I want to ask how you two ended up doing a collaboration together because you sound perfect together.
Thank you. Yeah, I fell in love with her music and her voice and following her on social media. And I had this song and I always knew it sounded like a duet, but it just took me a while to figure out who was going to be my duet partner. And so I fell in love with her voice and I just literally just DM'd her on Instagram. And I was like, hey, I'm a huge fan. I think you're awesome. We should collab sometime. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm a huge fan of yours. Like, I would love that. And so I was like, hey, check out this song. And she hit me back. She's like, I love this song. And then the next week we were in the studio putting her voice on it. And so it just came together really, really quick and like just meant to be kind of thing. And we got to shoot the music video for it. It's coming out really soon. And I'm just really excited about this song. I haven't really done like a duet like this, you know, so it's really fun. It takes me back to like that classic country duet, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, kind of has that, makes you feel something of two voices really collaborating throughout the whole song and not just like she's not just singing harmonies, you know, she's just as much part of this song as I am. And it's really, really awesome. So if people out there, if you haven't heard it yet, check out Get Me Gone. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is a good song. It is exactly what you said. It feels like a proper duet rather than, oh, there's a girl just singing in the chorus kind of thing. It feels like a proper song that you guys have done together.
Yeah, and for every time I hear it, I feel like, you know, the first time I heard the track, I was like, this feels like I've heard it 100 times. Like it's very nostalgic feeling. It feels like when you listen to it, you're like, oh my goodness, I've already heard this. And in a way, it sounds so familiar, and it just really brings you in and welcomes you. And I'm really excited to see what it does. It's only been out for like a week and a half right now, and it's really exciting to see it, the momentum growing on it.
Well, we're going to give it some spins in the UK, that's for sure. So we know that the fans over there will love it. You did mention that you got new music coming out. So is that what we've got to look forward to over the rest of the summer?
I think the goal is to put a song out once a month until the end of the year. So I think we're going to put out 4 or 5 more songs this year, which I'm so stoked on. I mean, Tough People was my first song I put out in 2 years. And so now Get Me Gone. And we have another song called Deserve Her that's going to be coming out really soon. And then I'm putting you know, I grew up a redneck, so we're big deer hunters. And deer season starts October 1st over here in the States. So we're putting out a hunting song for everybody that loves to hunt. And that's coming out the end of September. And then I debuted a song called Rebel over when I was over there. And that's going to be coming out this year also. So be on the lookout. Lots of new music. I am beyond stoked to have all this music coming out for everybody.
Well, it's awesome. We're very excited. I couldn't think of anybody that deserves the success that they're getting than you. You are, it is, I love it when good things happen to good people. And this is, you deserve you're so hardworking. Your music is so good. So just keep doing it. And, you know, we're just here to wave you on and cheer you on as you go.
Thanks so much, Natalie. Thank you so much for your time. And we can't wait to see you in a couple
I,
months.
it's
Fun.
it's going to be here sooner than you think. So thank you so much for having a chat with us. I will let you get back to your tour. Enjoy the next 13 days or whatever it is you've got going on out there with Bailey, and we'll speak to you soon.